and his facial expression, I'm going to make a T-shirt if Versus comes to fruition.
Hey, yo, and then listen, I do want to say this for everybody out there that's like, JD, play a song. You play a song, you holding us down, you holding the South down.
Come on.
Let me say this to y'all. Everybody, be clear. You can stop the music. You can't stop the music?
Yeah, stop the music. Let him hear him.
I just want to make sure everybody understands this. I am in the Songwriters Hall of Fame.
Talk that talk, JD.
All right? I am in the Songwriters Hall of Fame.
Come on.
Puff Daddy's not in the Songwriters Hall of Fame.
Whoop.
Steve Stout and the Trackmasters are not in the Hall of Fame.
Which leads us to the next one. Go ahead.
The only other person, 2 people, 3 that I know that's from this era of what we do.
Yeah.
That's in the Songwriters Hall of Fame. By the way, the only other person in the city of Atlanta that's in the Songwriters Hall of Fame is my College Park brother, Dallas Austin.
Amen.
Right? So it's only 4 of us. Me, Dallas Austin, Jay-Z, and Missy Elliott.
Come on. And
when it comes to songwriting, listen to what I'm trying to tell you. I am in the Songwriters Hall of Fame. So I shouldn't have to play nothing. You guys, y'all should have to hear his music. I shouldn't have to play nothing. I am in a seat that Puff Daddy can't pay for.
Hello?
You have to write songs. And as far as I'm concerned,
talk that talk.
As far as I'm concerned, I don't know if he'll ever get in that club. It's you know
when somebody when somebody just like says some undeniable truth. Yeah, I mean, like the reality is you could say to yourself, well, no, I like Diddy's songs more. You know, even from that era, from the 90s era, like I like Diddy's songs from the 90s era when Bad Boy was a shit more than So Def's. You could say that, and because music is subject to opinion, right? So however it goes. But JD is speaking facts. Diddy don't write. And the other thing too is if it's a versus, what if Jermaine Dupri plays a song that you didn't even know he had anything to do with, and the crowd goes nuts, and Diddy's like, that's not you can't play that, that's not you. No, my brother, I wrote that song, that is me. So it's funny because when I was thinking about all this, I'm like, why is JD so confident? What is he? Now it makes sense to me anyways. JD has a ridiculous long line of hits that he has written. And if he wants to throw that in the mix, by the written and produced, if he wants to throw that in the mix in a versus battle, I think he should be allowed to do that. Because guess what? Every song that Diddy would play, that he's on, he ain't even write it. So why can't JD play songs like Usher, Confessions?
Okay,
Usher?
all right.
You understand what I'm saying?
We get it. Did you get all that off your chest now? You feel
yes.
good?
So
You feel
JD,
good about it?
let me just say this last part.
There's more. Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah,
Go ahead. This is how much defense you need for JD. Go ahead.
So with that, JD would win against Diddy in a versus. Now you can go ahead.
I appreciate you for having to conclude your essay with your final statement. That is true professionalism. With that being said, I don't know what music you're listening to. Listen, Diddy has classics under his belt. Classics. I don't care who JD wrote for. I don't care who he produced for. There's just certain songs that Diddy has under his belt that are undeniable. They will continue to be undeniable. And if people were to tell you what their top 3 hip hop songs are, 2 of those are going to be Bad Boy songs. He has too many artists, bro. Total, Mace, Big, Shine, Black Rob. Keep going. 112. Jeez. And yes, JD had counterparts to all of those, but none of those people had any tracks like these people. And none of them were ever considered the greatest of all time at what they did, like Notorious B.I.G. after only 2, well, actually only after 1 when he was alive and 2 albums total. That's nuts. So I hear what you're saying. I can end my defense right there because I don't need to go on with a longer defense.
Did you know that Diddy, not Diddy, excuse me, that JD wrote pretty much all the content on the Emancipation of Mimi, Mariah Carey's like Diamond album? Did you know that Diddy? Excuse me. See, I keep saying Diddy because they're
Can
both
I
kind of.
answer? Can I answer?
Hold on for a
Yes.
second. There's more. Okay,
I
great.
just wanted to answer. I just wanted to answer.
Good. I'm glad that you know that because not a lot of people do. So when a lot of people think of a Diddy versus JD versus, all they're thinking of, well, what songs is JD actually on that really thumped? They're not thinking of the amazing content that he created, that he wrote and produced.
But I am
That
thinking about that though. That's
well,
what I'm
that's
trying to tell you.
well,
You can include
that's
all of those
that
songs.
that's
Mariah
that
Carey, you can include her. Go ahead.
that's fine, but what I'm trying to say is viewing public, you need to consider that because there could be songs out there that are your favorite songs. You ain't even know JD had a hand in it. You understand what I'm saying? You didn't even know that. All you might be thinking is just, okay, well, I can't think of the song that he was on that's good. Like I what no, he's had a hand in a lot of your favorite
No, we get it. We
records.
get it. We get it.
Yes.
We get it. We get it. You don't have to keep saying it. We understand. I feel like you really feel, are you trying to prove this to the viewing public or to yourself at this point?
Well, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the viewing public. So what I'm trying to say is if you go back and you dig,
Oh, you're
you
going to
will-
continue with this. Go ahead. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Go ahead.
you will clearly
Yeah.
see that
Yeah,
this
yeah. He's had a hand in songs that you didn't know about.
anyways, so if you go back and you dig, you'll clearly see that this is not a one, or rather would be a one-sided versus battle at all, right? So JD makes a great point, and it never hit me until I actually checked out that clip. So when Diddy was saying that the only versus battle he would do is against Dr. Dre, I was like, yo, I'm feeling that because of the era that they came from.
Right. Yeah.
R.I.P.
That makes sense.
R.I.P. Biggie, R.I.P. Tupac. It would just make sense. You know what I mean? Maybe there could even be a little piece up at the end. It would be great.
No, he has Snoop Dogg under his belt too. Let's not forget, like people nowadays probably don't understand. Like Snoop Dogg is a different type of character now, different type of persona and brand. But when Snoop Dogg was the biggest thing in the world when Snoop Dogg came out. Like there's even interviews of Tupac saying that he wanted to be as big as Snoop Dogg at the time. You know what I mean? When he first got on death row. So Snoop Dogg, he's got Tupac under his belt. Of course, he's got NWA. Of course, he's got his own music with the Chronic 2001.
He has everything on Aftermath. He could play songs from Exhibit. He could play Nate Dogg records. He could play Eminem records. He could play
Eminem. So that's more of a battle. That's more of a battle because when I think Bad Boy, I'm thinking classics. I'm thinking Mace's classics. I'm thinking all of the 112 songs that still get played in the club. Yes, they're played to end the night, but they're still played in the club. I'm thinking about the songs that are played by people when they're going to work out, like Victory, like Money, Power, Respect, like the way these things have just taken on their own lives. These type of songs, it's you got to find. Bow Wow is not the Brat. Jagged Edge has some. I'll give Jagged Edge a few. They have a wedding song, but not enough. Not enough.
Yeah. I honestly think that it would actually be a pretty good versus. What would definitely tilt it is if they did it in Atlanta, but that's another story. Viewing public, what are your thoughts here? Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Who do you think would have this? I would still prefer to see a Dre and Diddy versus just because of the history, but a JD and Diddy might not be so bad because these two seem to be throwing some daggers at each other. And that last one that JD threw, that shit hurt because
you can't pay for this seat. Dang,
because you don't write. So there it is.
That's a subliminal if I've ever heard one.
Shit, that's direct. Look, let me say this. Hold on one second. Speaking of the 90s,
the best era, the golden era.
Yeah, man, an era that that just birthed my love of music, like just truly did. The Fugees apparently are going back on tour together.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so excited about that. I mean, The Score, what a classic album. Like, oh my goodness, man. What's your favorite joint off The Score?
Obviously, I hate to be stereotypical, but it's got to be Ready or Not.
No, it's actually a pretty dope song, and a lot of people Yeah, a lot of people would be like, "Oh, you chose the commercial song." Dude, that album was, first of all, it sold so many albums. Like, I think it was like more than Diamond, more than 10 million copies, because the music was actually just really dope. It had crossover appeal. So Ready or Not is actually just a sick song,
Yep.
period. My joint is Family Business. That John Forte verse is just
Yeah,
incredible.
yeah. That song crazy.
It's just so good.
And the beat is so classic 90s too, man. It's like
Yeah.
bouncy, like a bouncy hip hop beat too. It's crazy.
If I could walk the streets and death take me
Yo, but
away.
okay, let
Yo,
me
come
ask you a
on.
question. Are you not surprised? Like, okay, of all the people, of all the members of the Fugees, who do you think was the most problematic based on what you know about their history?
Wyclef and Lauryn Hill.
Those
Both,
two for sure. For
both of
sure.
them. Both of them.
Which one? So this is the thing. I want to know how they got, me personally, all of these people to agree, especially Lauryn Hill, because they've tried this before. They've tried the reunion. It's not the first time they're trying a reunion thing. Last time they tried it, it kind of worked at the beginning, and then apparently Lauryn Hill wasn't showing up, or she has a rep for always showing up late to her shows, which might have flown back in the 90s when, Lauryn Hill was Lauryn Hill. But 2021, people ain't playing that. So I'm kind of worried about this tour when I heard about it. They always try to do this. This could be the Millennium Tour all over again.
You're worried about it? I'm not
I'm
worried.
worried. I'm worried Lauryn Hill's gonna pull a Rasby and this tour, because I want to see it. That's the thing.
No.
I want to be there. I want to actually see them perform. I want to get a ticket.
Listen, I understand your concern, but I can tell you that the exact same thing's going to happen again. I wanted to save that part until the end, but fine, we can get there now. They've made the announcement. So they're doing a 12-city international tour, kicks off September 22nd, and with a surprise pop-up show in New York City. So September 22, which is tomorrow, right? Or today, depending on when you're watching it. if today's show goes off without a hitch, count that as the lucky one. If the next one say, okay, cool. But they're not going to finish this tour. It's just not going to happen. And it might not even be a Lauryn Hill thing. It could be COVID related. Like, I personally think that I always wanted another Fugees album. And I just think it's just one of those things that's just not meant to be. So the Fugees, as much as I love them, huge part of my childhood, amazing talent, they're just not meant to be. So something, and I'm sorry to put this energy out there like that, but something is going to happen, and this tour is not going to finish. I want to be wrong. I don't think I will be. Sorry.
The way you're talking, you sound like you've seen it already fail.
Well,
like
we have. Mind. Well, what were you just speaking about a moment ago?
Yeah.
This show already. I just think it's a repeat. That's all. I think this is part 2. Just with,
I'm hoping everybody needs some money, man. I'm really hoping they need that check, and I'm hoping that check outweighs whatever it is that has halted this. Because you know what? Sometimes I'm glad they didn't put out another album, because sometimes the expectation is going to exceed the reality of what's produced. Sometimes you just can't meet people's expectations, and sometimes people try to force it, a la Rush Hour 3 and Bad Boys 3. And it doesn't work out, or Dumb and Dumber 2, or whatever they called it, Dumb and Dumberer. Sometimes you force it, doesn't work out, right? So I'm glad they left it at what it was. With that being said, this tour, I want to be on the other side. I want to be optimistic. I feel like if we put the right energy out there, though, not what you're saying, that we might be able to act. Oh, you're going to make a face with it too? Well, I'm going to have to reside on Deuce Gang then. Deuce Gang, I'm going to need you to help convince this guy over here to put a little positivity in his voice, because if you want to see this tour, drop a comment, drop a like right now. Let us know.
Or what you could do is you could be like me, and you could live in the past. You can go on your iTunes or your Spotify, listen to the score, listen to the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Just such that albums are so good. Even the Carnival, Wyclef's first solo.
I was trying to remember what the name of it was.
Yeah, his first solo
So
album.
I'll be gone
Yo, it's remember
till
one
November.
mere, I need a one. Yo, the whole like they had some great offerings. But and they're all still talented. It's just I don't know what it is. It's they just can't get the shit back together, and that's why I say it's not meant to be. Leave well enough.
It's funny how
Those
I talk about the positivity and you go right back. Like it's like I'm trying to climb out of the hole. Like we both fell in this hole. I found a way out and I'm climbing my way out. And because you can't see the light, you're just like, no, come back down here and you're pulling me. And that's not nice.
No, I don't think that's what would happen. We would both be climbing our way out, and I'd be like, "I'm almost there, yo. Can you just give me a little nudge?" Once I get up there, once I get up there, I'll pull you
Oh,
up.
I'm gonna give you a nudge.
Then I would get up there, and then you'd reach, and as soon as your hand's about to grab mine, I'd be like, "Psych!" And then I just push you right back in the hole. Then I would.
Well, I'm absolutely glad we're talking about this in advance. Wrap it up.
Viewing public, what are your thoughts here? Let us know your favorite song on the score. Let us know your favorite Fuji album. It could be even the first one. What was that one called? Blended on Reality. Just so
I'm not good with title album names and shit.
so good. Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Yo, remember Ghetto Superstar? Remember
Yeah, with Maya.
Yeah,
Maya.
and Old Dirty Bastard and Praz. Praz is one good song.
I remember Maya.
Of course, we all did. But I never understood why he was in the Fugees. Like, what was his point? Like, was he?
He was the RZA. He was the RZA.
Was he? Because I know that Wyclef did pretty much not all, but a lot of the production, and they all wrote their own stuff, and you could tell because Praz was horrible. Tell me right now. Hold on, just really quick before we move on. Give me a quick. You know how everybody has like a 2 lines that you remember? Give me a 2 line from Praz. Thank you. Viewing public, help, because there is none. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Look, I think this story's stupid, but I also think that there's a gem here. There's a gem here.
There's an underlying story, right?
Yeah, there's a gem here for you millennials who put everything into social media. Ben Affleck and J-Lo, they're back together. We all know that, and we all don't care. But they're back together. Successfully, might I add, having a great time, enjoying their wealth, and J-Lo's butt, right?
They don't have any pictures of Ben Affleck sniffing J-Lo's bum this time on a boat, but we'll get there.
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyways, so what's their secret? What's their secret? Well, apparently they don't follow each other on Instagram. And some people are saying that's the key to their success. Now, I want to take it a step further. I bet you that J-Lo doesn't say, "Hey, Ben, can I see your cell phone?" I bet you J-Lo probably doesn't even know the password for his phone. You understand?
I mean, those are the good things to guess. I don't know about all that. That may be a little extreme because, the celebrity world is a little bit different, but you have to have that level of trust. The thing about this is that we have to remember is that these guys have been together before in a hugely highly profiled, passionate relationship before and broke up for whatever reasons they broke up. The one thing that I know about women, the one thing that I can be certain of is they know how to hold a grudge. You are with a woman, you might break up, you might meet a few years later. It doesn't matter how much time after, whatever it was that ended up breaking you guys up, you have to overcome that first in order for there to be any type of healthy relationship, right? The one thing that can dead that quick or have somebody in their feelings is Instagram, is social media. Are these things where you can go and see just a person liking somebody else's post and then you're going to get emotional about it, or just seeing a comment that you're not going to like, and then you're going to take that a step further. So me personally, I just wanted to say that because I like this move personally from both of them. I like what they're doing. I was never a big fan of social media as far as when it came to those type of things and having to be prying all in the other thing like that. But I mean, if you have enough trust to not scoop somebody's Instagram or not want to follow them, I guess it's also believable to say, I don't need your password either.
At the end of the day, it's trust. That is really the point that I'm trying to emphasize here. So chances are J-Lo has his phone password. Chances are, and vice versa. But the point is I bet you J-Lo ain't like when Ben goes to the bathroom to take a shit, he comes back and he finds J-Lo like this, just casually going through his phone. I bet you that's not the case. And by the way, if that is the case, Ben should feel comfortable enough to leave his phone. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, fellas and ladies. When you're laying up with the beau, watching Friends or whatever it is you're watching, Real Housewives guy here, when you go to the bathroom or when you go to make some tea, you know you're going to be gone for an extended period of time. Do you leave your phone behind? Because chances are she has your do you leave your phone behind? I leave my phone behind unless I'm going to take a shit, because that's the whole reason of going in there. I got to be on my phone. But my phone gets left behind. I don't care. Do you leave it behind?
This is the thing that I want to ask guys out there. It's just like, if you feel like you're at a point where you need to be checking your girl or whoever's phone, you feel like in your mind like that's something that you want to do. One, why would you want to do that? Why open a door that you might have to spend 20 minutes trying to close later? That don't make no sense. And two, if your mind is already in that headspace, that should be a major red flag. Maybe this either isn't the time for me to be in a relationship because I have the trust issues, or there's something about this other person that I'm not trusting right now. You need to get out of those situations instead of resorting to passwords and stuff like that. Like, I'm at a point right now where if I'm dealing with a female and she even asks me for my password or asks me for anything like that, I'm like, I'm asking you, what is it that you want to see? What is it that you need to see so badly? She'll answer. She'll give you the answer. And I'll be like, listen, if that's how you feel, then maybe this is not the situation for you. I'm not holding on to somebody like that, because if that's a level of distrust that you already have, you can't build on a foundation of distrust. It's not possible. It's always going to be there. One person's going to hold a grudge. It's not going to go away. So see the red flags and act on them instead of being a little bitch, being a little pussy, and just holding on to somebody because either you've been together so long or you don't feel like you can find somebody. There's 7 billion people in the world. You'll find somebody else. Majority of them are female. So great for us, but you'll find somebody else.
Well, I guess the lesson here is the couple goals hashtag is now Ben and J-Lo. Who would have thought? Right? All right.
Every week it shifts.
Viewing public, what are your thoughts here? Also, I'm taking bets. When do you think we're gonna get that photo of Ben Affleck biting J-Lo's ass or smelling it? Something with the butt. When do you think that photo is coming out? I'm saying sometime.
His face was just really close to her bum in there. Just Google it for people who don't know what we're talking about. Just Google the picture.
What picture?
The picture that I'm referring to, where Ben and J-Lo from way back, I think it was early 2000s, where they're on a boat. And you don't have to Google it right now. I'm telling the Deuce Gang they can Google it. You know what I mean?
No, I could just Google it right now. It takes 2 seconds.
I saw the look in your face and I realized what was happening.
I know what you're talking about. It happened they even used it in that J-Lo video.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck grabs Jennifer Lopez butt on yacht. Anyways, the point is I don't even think you know why? You want to know why? You want to hear something, fellas? We're talking about, and ladies, we're talking about J-Lo's butt. There's gonna be some grabbing and it's J-Lo's butt. So what are we? Ben is doing it right now. Right now. And if he's not, J-Lo's like, excuse me? You know, I could find someone to do that. It's J-Lo butt. Like, come on, let's be for real. Leave it in the comments. It's her butt. Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Deuces.
Oh, I get it.
You got
like a bum.
Like a bum.
Yo, thanks for watching that video, making it all the way to the end. You made it this far, you have to like. Please subscribe and comment on the video as well. Join the conversation.
Absolutely. We finally hit our goal of 500 subscribers. Yes, we are trying to get to 1,000. And we can only do that with your help. You can start by watching that next video. You see that tiny little icon? Click on that icon, rinse and repeat. Deuces.
Deuce.